My name is Kaylin. I'm the design production manager. Recently promoted to design production manager. I came into this, my name's Kaylin. I'm the design production manager for the marketing design team at Disney Channels Worldwide. I got into this job mostly doing a lot of the QC stuff, so I'm the one who works with the agencies and really digs into their files and tears things apart and tells people how to fix things and keep them organized. I also get to see the inner workings of how things are created, which has always been super exciting for me. In addition to that, I oversee all of the production of our digital assets for multi-platform, so all of the digital platforms where all of the art goes. So I'm kind of always thinking ahead when we get a piece of art. I think how can we simplify this to make it fit in a small space, or how can we kind of manipulate this to work on multiple dimensions. We produce, I would say, pretty much all of the promotional marketing art for Disney Channels. So there's other teams that do some pieces, social pieces and things, but mostly we kind of do the meat of that type of work. So that's the key art, logos. We do art for different events, and some stuff for social and digital platforms and all of that kind of stuff. So all of the stuff you kind of see around me is stuff we've made. We found a lot of our designers come from a print background in the first place, so we have a lot of experience using Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign, but more and more as this is becoming a fast-paced digital world, we're being asked to think smaller and make smaller graphics and how we can make these things dynamic and creative, but still using our design skills. So because a lot of us had more experience with the still side, we really wanted to get a chance to dive into this so we don't have to pass everything off to agencies, or so if someone needs a cinematograph or something like this really quickly, we actually have the skill sets to turn that around. And at this point, we have limited people on our team who knew how to use those things, so it was, we kind of all wanted to get our hands in and figure out how these things work. This was great. It was going back to college for a couple of days. I wish that work wasn't happening at the same time, but it was really, it was such a, even more than an introduction. I guess it helped that we kind of came in with a little bit more of a background in the design space anyway, so we could, and Adobe, all the programs relate together so well. That was definitely helpful, but certainly I think we accomplished a lot of what we're capable of doing now than when we came in. It was great. You're very friendly, and keep things light, which I think is nice. And then when we had questions, you're good to kind of stop and change tracks if we need to do that. Yeah, it was just really fun and easy to kind of sink into the learning experience versus everyday work for a couple of days. I think this will be very helpful within this particular role. I get a lot of After Effects projects and video type stuff from other departments whose primary focus is video, and before, kind of with this background in the more print and flat side of things, I would get the files and just be I don't know what to do with this. Please turn this into a usable file for me. So now it will be great that I can kind of dig in. I understand a little bit more about the structure and how things are laid out within After Effects. I can now export flat frames myself, perhaps blow up files and export higher res. So that would be super helpful for me. Personally, I've always been interested in animation and trying to figure out a way that I can pick up those skills. So I know that now I'll have one more thing I can do at home where I can play around with something and try to get a little bit more skilled at using this to make light animations. That was actually one of the main like one of the biggest drawing points of working at Disney in the first place, that how much content they produce and like all of this animated work and these historically popular films. It's really cool that's kind of like in the history of this whole company, and I wanted to kind of be a part of that. So this was like a great way to do it, where I can still kind of use my creative skills even if I'm not an animator myself. So thanks so much, it's been great.